From the Farmers Union Insurance Center on the campus of Scheels Arena in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas alongside of my partner Cooper Mattern as we get set for North Dakota High School boys hockey action as the South-Shanley Bruins prepare to take on the Fargo Davies Eagles. Well, folks, tonight should be an action-packed game featuring two intense rivals, the Davies Eagles and the South-Shanley Bruins. There's no love lost between these two teams, wouldn't you say, Cooper?
That's for sure. Whenever you got a big rivalry game like this, you want your big players to step up. I'm looking at the freshman, number 29, Ben Strand, and he's got 15 points. And then Cade Stibbe, 9th in the state on points, number 20, he's got 23 points.
Absolutely. Big games, big players, like you said, Cooper. And, interestingly enough, for these two teams, their big players are some pretty young guys. You got a freshman leading South-Shanley in scoring and a sophomore leading Fargo Davies in scoring. So that's something pretty unique about these two teams. The thing about it, though, is that Davies is at the top of the standings right now, while South-Shanley is towards the bottom. So scoring coming from the same place, but obviously having a little different success in the end.
Yeah, and even though you got some scoring, I feel like the goalie play is really big. We got Jared Winter for Fargo South with a 94.7 save percentage and an undefeated record. I feel like obviously that'll help Davies a lot. Absolutely,
Cooper. Jared Winter, one of the best goalies in the state. Should be fun to watch tonight. For now, folks, we are going to send things down to the PA announcer, but don't go anywhere. It's going to be a great night of hockey action coming up in just a few minutes.
South-Shanley Bruins is Dean French. The officials for tonight's game are registered by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and have been selected for their demonstrated ability to officiate varsity games. The linesman for tonight's game is Matt Ficker. Your officials are Mike Holm and Nick Silkey. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as you are able and direct your attention to the colors as we honor the United States of America with our national anthem. Performing the Star Spangled Banner, Shanley High School student Maria Lusardi.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Don't go anywhere, folks. High school hockey action is next after a brief word from our sponsors.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Butler Machinery Company, Ed's Marine and Storage, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Kochman Brothers Homes, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Netrix IT, Northern Improvement Company, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Scheels, and TCI Insurance.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School hockey action. I'm Jed Thomas alongside of my partner Cooper Mattern as we are just about ready to drop the puck here on this good old-fashioned rivalry game between the South-Shanley Bruins and the Fargo Davies Eagles. And with that drop of the puck, we're underway as Derek Morehart will send that puck careening into the boards into the Davies zone. Giving chase now is Harvey for South-Shanley. Puck is going to come out now to Sorby out top. He'll dump that one back into Greatzer, and now that puck is being fought for by a couple different players. Harvey in there with Sylvester. Trainer poking around at it. And now a quick shot fired on Winter that's steered aside. Puck will come right back out, though. Out top, that's going to be handled by Carson Dean, and now it's going to be dumped into the zone by Trainer. Trainer with a couple men on him. He'll have that one taken by Sylvester, and now Sylvester with the breakout pass to Parrott. Parrott throws that one off the boards, and it's immediately dumped right back in by Zazada, as that puck will squirt right past Winter and be picked up by Sandy. Sandy now circling around, pinned down against the boards by Sylvester, and then that puck's going to be thrown up ice and knocked down by Wyatt Hansen. Hansen with the chip in. It wraps around behind Winter. A lot of chip and chase going on early here as Tanner Beaton kicks it forward and Jared Winter covers. And so a flurry of action there that does not amount to much to start this game off.
Yeah, interesting call there for me, Jed. We see Coach French for Fargo South starting the freshman Carson Dean, another young call for him. See if he can make a few plays and maybe shift some momentum to the south side and get them a win for to move them up in the standings.
Yeah, Cooper, that is an interesting decision. You know, I didn't even know who 20 was out there. Called him the wrong name for a second. Had to check the sheet because, you know, Dean hasn't played a ton of minutes this season. But interesting to see Coach French giving him an increased role in such a big game.
Yeah, I feel like all these young guys, they really feed off the experience from the older guys, and if the older guys, like the captains like Tanner Beaton, John Harvey, and Robbie Greatzer can show them the ropes, South has got a good future.
All right, so neutral zone face-off here. Sandy going to win that one back for South-Shanley. Puck fought for along the near boards. It'll come out to Bryant, who dumps it in. Now Jake Bryant going to chase after that one. It's picked up behind the net that time by Balvich, and now it's going to come out through the neutral zone and be steered forward by Zazada. Strinden couldn't get a hold of it. Matheson got there first. Some pressure early on here for the Eagles. A quick shot is saved. Cade Hansen just threw one on net. Brody Herrick was right there.
I think in this game, Davies is obviously the lot faster team with UND commit Tyler Clevin, number 4. Obviously, if you're going D1, you got to be really quick. So if South wants to keep up with their speed, they're going to have to work hard on the back check, forecheck, and hopefully generate some goals.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Davies got some great speed, some really high-end players. Like you said, Clevin, the University of North Dakota commit. You know, you don't commit to UND without being one heck of a player. You know, he's just something else to watch out there. Whistle for offsides will send that puck back out to the neutral zone. 15-10 left to play here in the first period. Shots 1-1. Neither team, though, really put much pressure on so far. Face-off here between the two leading scorers for their respective teams. Ben Strinden for South-Shanley and Cade Stibbe for Fargo Davies. Puck unable to be picked up by Larson that time. Strinden pinned the man to the boards. Puck still finds its way out, though, and now it's going to be picked up on the near side by Buckles. Jay Buckles, just to point off the Davies scoring lead, will throw one on net. That's grabbed by Brody Herrick.
2 good glove saves in a row for Brody Herrick. If he can keep that up, South can keep getting the shots that they're getting. I think they can have some good scoring opportunities.
Face-off now in the South-Shanley zone. It's going to be won by Trainer over to Zazada. Zazada with pressure on him, though, trying to give it off to someone. Trainer will pick it up. Trainer circling back behind his own net, throws it off the boards, comes out of the zone, but just barely. It's immediately dumped right back in that time by Tristan Donner. Zazada throws this one along the boards, comes right back to him, bounces out in front of the net, and then Wyatt Hansen will steer it away in the opposite direction. Robbie Greatzer goes backhand down the clear, and then it's dumped right back in. Fargo Davies making the Bruins chase. Greatzer will throw this one down, icing waved off, and now behind the net, it's going to be picked up by Larson. Eagles looking to break out of the zone here. South-Shanley making them move it around. Finally, just a quick clear that will slide back for what South-Shanley thought was going to be icing, but will be waved off. Zazada with the puck in a bit of trouble, loses control. That one picked up. Now quick shot saved by Herrick. Rebound opportunity won't go either. Excellent opportunity that time for Jacob Matheson.
As we were announcing the Fargo North game, one of the problems for them, especially in the second and third period, was the breakout for Fargo South. Obviously, another turnover there by Zazada. If they can clean that up, they should be able to get more opportunities.
Yeah, those breakouts have been a huge problem for them. Overall, they just haven't been too creative. It's been a lot of just ringing the puck around the boards, hoping it finds its way out. And that has not really worked well at all for South-Shanley, so they're going to have to figure something out there. 13:37 left to go in the first period here. Face-off, won that time by Fargo Davies. Looked to like Strinden had it at first, but the Eagles come away with it. Now Cade Stibbe is in control. Stibbe moving along, tried to work his way past Lance. He could not. Sylvester there to keep it in play, though. Morhart lays the body down behind his own net. Now the puck's tied up along the boards. It's going to come out to Buckles, who's going to throw it out top to Sylvester. Sylvester with a little pass back to Buckles. Puck out in front. Great opportunity. Shot won't go from Schmidt. Clear now from Morhart. Again, Sylvester right there to send it back in. And the Eagles really tiring out South-Shanley with this strategy.
That's for sure, Jed. You see Jay Buckles leading the forecheck. If he obviously is a leader of this team, if he can keep that up, they should be able to pass the puck around and get a lot of shots.
Shots now 5-1 in favor of Fargo Davies, starting to take control. South-Shanley got to get some offense of their own going. They've been playing on their heels for the last few minutes. Puck thrown back into the Eagle zone, and that'll be an icing against the Bruins.
We saw last game against Fargo North. Towards the later end of the game, second and third period, Coach French started to make a lot of changes with the lines. It'll be interesting to see who he starts out with and who he finishes with in this game.
Trainer and Kelly on the faceoff. Trainer with the clean win back to Zazada. Wraps around the boards over to Greatzer. Robbie Greatzer moving out now. McVicker was closing in on him. Had to get rid of it. Now McVicker will pick up behind his own net. Harvey giving chase. Clevin with it. Lost control for a second, but he's back on top of it. Clevin flips one way up into the air. That's going to be tracked down by Wyatt Hansen. Trying to get on top of it with McVicker in his face. Has to just dump that back to Greatzer. Greatzer now looking backhand, going to be blocked in front of his own net. Hansen with the puck, trying to give it off, and now Greatzer has it once again. Robbie Greatzer moving in, and again, he'll just dump in.
Robbie Greatzer really initiating some pressure on those two breakouts, finally able to get a good, clean breakout with the winger right there.
Unfortunately, though, did not have numbers moving along with him. He was kind of going into the zone all alone both times.
And I think that's part of the speed we're talking about. If those forwards want to keep up with these defensemen and the Davies forwards, they're going to have to pick it up a little bit to get better on those breakouts.
Zazada with the puck, whiffed on it initially, now in a bit of trouble. That puck going to be knocked right off his stick by Hansen. Loose behind the South-Shanley net. Matheson throws one in front, no one home. Beaton picks up and gives off over to Bryant. Jake Bryant on the far side, throws it along the boards. He'll move in along with Sandy. Puck can be settled down by Winter. Pinned back there for a second was Larson. Puck loose out in front now. Two Bruins were there. Neither one knew who had it, though, and that ultimately will cost him a good opportunity with a loose puck. Puck comes out of the zone now. Beaton couldn't keep it in. Sandy throws it with the backhand. Icing waved off, and South-Shanley will go for a change.
Good defensive positioning down there when Davies had a chance by Wyatt Hansen, number 18. Got the body in front of the Davies forward, preventing a shot on net.
Loose puck intercepted by Strinden that time. Showed off some nice hands trying to generate an opportunity, but this Eagle defense is collapsing on the South-Shanley forwards. Strinden with the puck. Backhand pass out in front. No one home. Lance tried to get there. He could not. Dean throws one in, and that's going to be knocked out by the hand of Larson. Hansen on the far side, chips one forward, intended for Stibbe. Dean kept it out for a second, but it was knocked back in by Johnson. Centering pass didn't go from Stibbe. He still got control, moving with it. It's finally knocked off his stick by Dean. Cleared out of the zone by Johnson. Chippy play going on right now. Johnson and Sylvester going at it that time. And we've got Nicing going against South-Shanley. Get a look at that replay there. Stibbe trying to make something out of nothing. Excellent player, very quick, but also a little guy, and you saw that time the reach becomes a bit of an issue for him. He just did not have the reach to keep the puck safe from the South-Shanley forwards.
That's for sure, Jed. Nice to see Noah Johnson making a play up ice, using his speed to get the puck out of the zone and draw a penalty.
No penalty called there, Cooper. I don't think. There was a little after the whistle action. But Fargo Davies with 5 men out there. You know, anytime you got a rivalry game like this, you're going to have some physical play, some, some questionable things, some gray areas. And right now they're calling it pretty loose, letting them do their thing. But I think if this one gets any more physical than it is right now, we'll start to see some calls here from the refs trying to keep this in check. Jay Buckles along the near side, closing in. Zazada able to stay with him most of the way, and then his pass is intercepted by Beaton. Tanner Beaton moving in with Jake Bryant to his right, flips one forward. Bryant can't get past Clevin, and oh man, Clevin throws an elbow there that sheds Jake Bryant off his back.
Yeah, big body there by Clevin, able to lay the wood on Jake Bryant and have a big hit in the defensive zone.
Off the backhand of Scarperud that time, able to get it out of his own zone. Beaton with it now for South-Shanley. Gets a little bit of a screen, if you will, from Sandy, and now Beaton moving in, showing some nice moves. Clevin there right to him, and right now Clevin is clamping down on the puck.
I feel like the forecheck for both teams has been really even. Davies has got some sustained shots, some sustained pressure, along with South. It'll be interesting to see who converts first.
Yeah, fairly even game so far. Shots are 6-2 in favor of Davies, but the Bruins have gotten a bit more offense going in the last few minutes. 8:37 still left to play here in the first period. Strinden takes control and then takes a big hit in the corner from Parrott. Puck will be cleared, though, by Dean, and it's going to go all the way down into the Davies zone. No icing there, but now we do have a whistle and maybe a penalty.
Yeah, that big hit there by Parrott. I think that might just be the strength difference between a freshman and a senior. Parrott going to Strinden.
And I think they will actually get Parrott for a penalty there. I'm not sure if they're calling him for the hit or if it was for some extracurriculars after. If it is for the hit, though, it looked like you might have a case for boarding there, so we'll see what the call ends up being.
Yeah, and boarding, obviously a major penalty. Interesting to see what the refs call. Looks like a 2-minute cross-check to me.
Yeah, that does appear to be the call, so Davies fortunate there just to get the 2-minute. And South-Shanley going to have this power play opportunity. This is going to be big for them. Their power play is really the best part of their game. Even strength, we saw them struggle against Fargo North and on the penalty kill as well. But when they were with the man advantage, they really dominated.
Yeah, 2 goals with the man advantage. Interesting to see if their power play can get it going.
Not the way they wanted to start, though, as Matheson generated an excellent opportunity. You saw his breakaway speed there, sent Dean down to the ice, fired one from a bad angle that didn't quite make it in. Greatzer now with the puck, throws it off the boards, intended for Trainer. Trainer had his stick knocked there by Sylvester. Excellent play by Sylvester to take Trainer out of the play. Puck coming all the way back down on the clear, picked up by Brody Herrick. Minute 30 left to go on this power play, and as of yet, South-Shanley has done nothing. If they can get set up in the zone, the Bruins should be in good shape. When they have time and the opportunity to get set up and start spreading the puck around, they can be very dangerous on this power play.
Yeah, Jed, especially with those seniors out there, Robbie Greatzer, John Harvey, and Ben Trainer. If they can pass the puck to Ben Strinden and Drew Sandy up top, they can have some good chances.
Yeah, they're always looking for the point shot, especially from Strinden. He is money from out near that blue line when he can load up and fire one.
That's for sure.
Great opportunity. Greatzer fired a laser out in front, but unfortunately for him, it went right into the chest of Jared Winter.
Yeah, and there's Jared Winter doing Jared Winter things. Good positioning on that shot.
And Jared Winter doing a few other things as he sends Robbie Greatzer down to the ice with a little shove there. Always interesting when the goalie gets involved in some of that physicality.
Yeah, physicality, Jed, obviously really present in this rivalry game.
Kelly moves the puck in now. He has that knocked back in his face by Beaton, able to get it in, but now Zazada's got control. 25 seconds left to go on the man advantage as Bryant gives that one over to Lance. Noah Lance moving in, leaves it back for Beaton. He fires one wide of the net. Coming out along the near boards now, Eagles get the clear. Just 14 seconds left on this power play. South-Shanley maybe with time for one more rush if they go quick. Long pass and a miscommunication that time as Hansen was looking for Beaton. Beaton went one way, the puck went the other, and so that'll be icing against the Bruins with just 3 seconds left on the power play.
Yeah, not what South-Shanley wanted on this power play. Davies was able to have a good sustained shorthanded penalty kill. See if on this faceoff if Davies can convert.
So time winds down on the Davies penalty, and they survive relatively unscathed there. Didn't really give South-Shanley any opportunities as that wraparound attempt from Clevin does not connect. You can see why Tyler Clevin is a D1 commit right there. The defenseman looking more like a forward comes in with a head of steam. The wraparound just about beat Herrick that time.
That's for sure, and it's crazy to think that he's only a sophomore going up against these seniors, burning our senior defenseman.
Beaton with the puck now, able to get it past one man, and that's as far as it'll go, as it's going to be picked up by Clevin now in his own zone. He throws that one forward, and it'll be chipped ahead by Matheson. Morehart behind his own net, sends one back intended for Bryan, intercepted though by Jacob Matheson. Now behind the net, quick feed in front, won't connect with anyone. That time it was Ethan Matheson looking for someone out in front, didn't have anyone.
I'm really impressed with South's defensive mindset right here. Obviously earlier in the game, Wyatt Hansen had a good defensive stand, and then right there, Derek Morehart getting the body in front of the Davies player.
Yeah, South-Shanley looking a lot cleaner in their own end than they did last week. Trainer trying to keep that one in. He cannot. It comes out off the clear from Donner. Now a pass intended for Harvey, intercepted briefly by Buckles, but he lost control. Greats are trying to get back on top of it, but it'll be thrown forward to Matheson off the pass from Larson. Buckles with it now, dangles around Harvey, gives it over to Stibbe. Stibbe moving in, making some moves, works his way around. Morehart centering pass, just off the stick that time, Schmidt.
A lot of fast speed shown there by Stibbe.
Yeah, Stibbe just blazed around the defenseman that time. Larson with it now for the Eagles. He tosses it back in, and South-Shanley had some trouble with this earlier. This chip and chase is really tiring out the Bruins. You know, they're getting some dead legs chasing after this puck in their own zone.
Yeah, and obviously with Coach French mixing up the lines a lot, it'll be interesting to see if he gives the young guys, the fresh legs, a few reps tonight.
Sylvester fires one into the corner. Not quite sure where that one was headed, but it did find its way over to Jay Buckles. Buckles, though, in a bit of trouble. He's got Lance and Trainer on him, trying to work it over to another man. It's Schmidt. He comes away with it himself, though. Buckles fires one, and Brody Herrick shuts down and saves that one.
Brody Herrick has a really good start tonight. Interesting to see if he can keep this up. Obviously, with one of the best goaltenders in the state, Jared Winter, going against him.
Yeah, obviously, Herrick is going to have to elevate his level of play to match a guy like Jared Winter. You know, if he can get some help from his offense, that would be great. But at the end of the day, this high-powered Davies attack, you're going to have Brody Herrick stand on his head. Eagles look to set up, and another shot from the point is eaten up by Brody Herrick. He'll take those all day.
I think part of this is the positioning of Brody Herrick. He's able to see the puck fully come towards his chest, and obviously the defensive play clearing out the Davies forwards.
Face-off won that time by Strinden. Zazada picks it up and then chips it forward. He's got Noah Johnson. Johnson moving in. Shot just past the net. Had an opportunity for a minute, but a nice job by Sylvester getting back to that one.
Good low shot by Noah Johnson. If that's a couple inches more into the right, that's a goal.
Strinden tried to hook up with Johnson that time. Excellent pass, but a little too much on it, and now here come the Eagles. Parrott moving in, whiffs on the shot. Zazada whacking away at his stick, and now Kelly going to go right back to Parrott. Parrott back to Kelly out in front, throws the backhand on. Backhand again from Kelly, and it's into the back of the net as the Eagles strike first.
And with that goal right there, that's not what we've been seeing from South's defense this game. They didn't get the positioning that they have been from Morehart and Hansen throughout this game. Strinden, the young guy, wasn't able to get that advantage and allowed for that goal.
Yeah, no one home right in front of the net. Also, Herrick giving up a pretty big rebound that time. Kelly fired it backhand once, didn't connect, but then the big-time rebound right there for Kelly to put home. And so South-Shanley now going to work with a deficit, down 1-0. That's not what you want headed into the second period. There's still time left on the clock, though. 3:35 left to go in this first period. Big-time point shot blocked by Bryant. Man, Clevin unloaded into the shin pads of Jake Bryant.
I think that might be part of the momentum they have against Fargo North. South had the momentum, obviously scoring 2 goals quick, but now it'll be interesting to see with Davies scoring first, the other team, how they can bounce back.
Opportunity that time for Matheson. No one there. If he could have picked that puck up, just could not quite get control. Beaton goes down, trying to make something happen. Almost ended up working out for him as the puck was just about a foot in front of Bryant. You can see cut off a little bit, but you saw there Clevin just unleashed on Jake Bryant, and then after that threw a little check in there too. Tyler Clevin has got a mean streak to his game, I tell you what.
That's for sure. A big guy, big burly guy. He's got speed, he's got a good shot, and obviously good defenseman as well.
Face-off won by Trainer. Able to get it back to Zazada, who wraps it around the boards. Harvey chasing after it. Donner going to chip it around over to Schmidt. Now Schmidt looking for a man on the outlet pass. That one knocked back into the zone by Trainer, but then taken right out by Donner. Schmidt takes a hit from Greatzer that time. Now South-Shanley looks to set up in their own zone. Little pass off the boards intended for Harvey. It's tipped forward, but not much to that one for the Bruins.
And what I don't want to see from Fargo South, that hit right there from Robbie Greatzer might have been a little high. Obviously, we saw against Fargo North when they got down a few goals, they started getting a little more chippy. If they're going to do that this game, it's not going to be a good outcome.
Yeah, and Greatzer has had some trouble with penalties. He leads the team in penalty minutes with 24. And, you know, when you're a senior captain like that, you got to be out on the ice as much as you possibly can. And when you're taking penalties and taking yourself out of games, that's just not going to work.
Yeah, and obviously we know South, they have a lot of freshmen, and Robbie Greatzer can't teach him while he's in the penalty box.
Noah Johnson again making things happen. Lone man in the zone for South. Had a one-on-one opportunity that time. Just fired one in on Winter. Not much he could do there, but Johnson doing a good job of making things happen out there. He's a good spark plug for the Bruins. Strinden and Kelly on this face-off in the Eagles zone. Kelly wins that one. And so the Eagles will look to clear here as Sylvester has it, and he sends it right back over to Relt.
What stuck out to me, Jed, is when South has got their best scoring chances on Jared Winter, it's always come from a good breakout to start out of their defensive zone.
Lance picks up the loose change here, throws one towards Winter, and Strinden was taken down that time by Sylvester. I think Strinden may be wanting an interference call there, and you can understand the case for it as that puck is thrown down back into the South-Shanley zone. Chipped forward by Dean, but intercepted by Kelly. Here come the Eagles as they do a nice job getting onside. Kelly throws one backhand. Nothing there that time as Dean sends Kelly to the ground.
Good defensive presence there by Dean, the freshman going up against big number 11 there, not letting him get a piece of Brody Herrick.
1:35 left to go in this first period. It's a 1-0 lead for Fargo Davies. South-Shanley looking to respond here, or at least just keep the Eagles from scoring again before the end of the first period. Loose puck out in front. Great opportunity there for Jacob Matheson. Just didn't really get a clean shot on it. Appeared to maybe whiff a little bit. Unfortunate that time.
Also looked like Tanner Beaton had he was a good wing positioning, dropping down low, and the puck was in the slot.
Beaton going to give this one off over to Zazada. Zazada now up to Bryant, and Bryant with a little chip intended for Sandy, but that one's going to be intercepted by Matheson. Matheson, backhand pass, trying to hook up with McVicker. Not going to happen that time, though, as South-Shanley takes over, and Beaton tosses it forward for Bryant. Bryant working against Matheson, couldn't get it into the zone, so he'll head off for a change, and now under a minute left in the first. Clevin making some moves in his own zone, had two men on him, did a nice job getting out of it. Zazada with it now. He sends it over to Hansen. Hansen lost it for a second, but now he's going to hook up with Harvey. Harvey takes a hit there from Clevin as he chips it into the zone. Stibbe now being chased by Greatzer. Greatzer right on top of him, but Stibbe left the puck. And now this one's going to be cleared up to Jay Buckles. Jay Buckles moving in with it. He and Stibbe. Buckles, excellent move, and now this puck's going to be picked up by Schmidt. Schmidt pinned into the boards briefly by Hansen. Throws one over to Clevin. Clevin just wide with a rocket of a shot. 10 seconds left as that puck comes out of the zone. Likely not enough time here for Davies to do anything else, and that puck will be iced with 4.4 seconds left on the clock.
What I like from Fargo Davies, their forecheck is really sustaining a lot of pressure to get some good shots, and their breakout a lot better than Fargo South-Shanley's, which is giving them seven total more shots than Fargo South.
Yeah, 17-10 edge in shots on goal here for Fargo Davies. 4.4 seconds left. South-Shanley's best face-off man at the dot. Strinden there, and he was unable to win it back. So Eagles let the clock run down, and the horn sounds after one period. It's a 1-0 lead for Fargo Davies. Cooper, your thoughts after this first period of play?
Yeah, I think a good start by both teams, especially Fargo Davies. Obviously got a goal. If South wants to stay in this game, their breakout has to be a lot better, and they have to generate more rebounds on those low shots.
Absolutely. Got to protect your own net, too. We saw the one goal for Davies came because they had the numbers in front of South-Shanley's net. You can't let that happen. So got to be a bit more on top of that. Also got to try and generate a bit more traffic in front of Jared Winter. You're just not going to beat him clean very often, so you got to try and get some bodies out there to get a screen going.
Yeah, like you said, the defensive positioning for South was big in the start of the first period, but as it got later, they maybe got a little tired with their legs and weren't able to keep that positioning.
All right, so should be interesting to see what the second period holds as we're in a 1-0 game right now. So don't go anywhere, folks. Should be a fun second period of play coming up in just a few minutes. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School hockey action. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Cooper Mattern as we are getting ready to start off the second period of play here between the South-Shanley Bruins and the Fargo Davies Eagles. But folks, before we get back to the action, we would like to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.club to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. And so, folks, as we get ready to start this second period, Cooper, give us your thoughts here quick before we drop the puck.
I'm looking at two things specifically, Jed. Physicality and speed. Obviously, Davies and South both came out with a lot of speed. See if they can keep that tempo up, and physicality, see if the penalty minutes will go down and the big hits will come up.
Absolutely, Cooper. In a rivalry game like this, those are the two things you always expect. Right off the bat, we get a nice hit from Greatzer there. The chippy play starting already, and here comes the speed from Davies as Stibbe enters the zone with a head of steam, loses possession, but Schmidt gets it back right to Stibbe, centering pass, no one home. Beautiful save to keep it in play by Briar Sylvester, but it's unfortunately not going to do anything for him as that puck comes right out. John Harvey does a nice job causing trouble in the Davies zone, but that puck's dumped right back down. Ben Trainer there to grab it, and now the puck's loose right beside Jared Winter. Robbie Greatzer down there fighting for it with three Eagles all alone. He goes down to the ground. Stibbe able to get that puck up ice, and now here goes Jay Buckles. Jay Buckles ran into Zazada there. Zazada sent it back. Sylvester will pick it up and toss that one over to Larson. Quick dump in there from Schmidt, and so the Eagles will go for a change.
See if South can get a good breakout here. It's something they've been struggling with the past couple games.
Both teams starting fast here. Eagles, though, definitely putting on a little more pressure. Greatzer going to throw that one down, and he'll go off for a change. Been out there for a while. And now it's Davies' turn to set up in their own zone as that puck's going to wrap around the boards and make its way over to Balvich. Balvich sends it up ice, but it's a little too much that time for Hansen. And Wyatt Hansen of South-Shanley will toss it over to Zazada. Clevin putting pressure on, moving away up from his defensive position as Wyatt Hansen will track down the loose puck and dip behind his own net. Wyatt Hansen in a bit of trouble, just going to wrap this one around the boards, trying to get up to Tanner Beaton, but instead it's sent right back in by Balvich.
There's the versatility we saw by Clevin again, obviously using his legs to become a forward and use his defensive mind to help him out.
And how about that play from Seb Zazada? Got his stick down parallel to the ice and blocked the shot from Cade Hansen. That was almost certainly a goal. I mean, he had a lot of net to work with, caught Herrick out of position, and somehow Zazada got the stick down there. So a lot of credit there for a guy who was playing forward at this time last year. Opportunity now, 2-on-1 briefly as Sandy moves in with Brian, tried to tuck one in, but Jared Winter sticks the legs out and takes the stick off the puck. Excellent work there by Winter.
Yeah, young guy versus old guy there. I'm sure Jared Winter has seen a lot of those moves before in his career as an Eagle and able to defend that off nicely.
Morehart with the point shot, redirected in front but couldn't find its way in, and now the Eagles look to break out. Parrott moving forward, thrown off that puck briefly by Lance. Now it's tracked down by Dean. Dean absorbs a big blow into the corner. His puck had only briefly by Matson. Clevin unleashes the cannon, but that thing's not going anywhere. It hit a couple of men and found its way over to Lance. Eagles chipping this one back in. The hit's really starting to fly now. And Herrick will settle that one down behind his own net and give off to Noah Lance. Lance with the pass intended for Strinden. It's going to be picked up by Clevin. Strinden putting the pressure on, but Clevin dangles out of his mind Noah Johnson. Oh, man. Noah Johnson bites the dust that time, fooled by the dangle by Tyler Clevin. And wow. That's a D1 move, folks.
Yeah, that's for sure. Obviously, I mean, we've seen his speed a lot this game. I mean, it'd be really interesting to see him as a forward, as a center type, get down in those corners and see what he can do down low.
That was filthy. 13:55 left to go in the second. Here it has been a fast start to this period. Quick face-off win and point shot does not do anything that time. It was Donner trying to put one in, and now the shot from Lance goes right into the pads of Winter. Lance and Johnson behind the net trying to make something out of nothing, and now we got a whistle and a delayed penalty going against the Eagles, I believe. I'm not sure what the call is here.
I didn't see it either, Jed.
I think, okay, it looks like they're going to get Donner there on the penalty. Tristan Donner had his stick up in the body of Noah Lance.
Yeah, looks like a 2-minute for hooking on Donner.
So South-Shanley with another power play opportunity. The first one did not amount to much. Let's see what they can do on their second try. Trainer going to win that face-off right back to Sandy, who goes over to Strinden. Strinden throws one in front, but it's blocked. Quick shot from Greatzer doesn't do anything, working with the backhand that time, and now this puck is cleared out and chased down by Strinden. Strinden with Buckles on him, stops behind his own net, and he'll let things settle down now as he carries forward for the Bruins.
If South wants a good chance on this power play, they're going to have to keep that sustained pressure in their offensive zone, and the defense is going to have to take low shots, hoping for deflections.
Yeah, South-Shanley really not known for scoring on the rush. They need that time to set up, and if they don't get it, they're just not going to do much with the man advantage. Minute 20 now left on this power play. Early on, things were looking good for the Bruins, but since Davies' first clear, they have not really done anything. Sandy dumps it off back to Strinden, and so he'll sit again behind his own net. Wait for everyone to catch up.
Hopefully South can get a good rush here, get a few low shots, and generate a goal.
Strinden gave off up to Greatzer. Greatzer goes down and takes out an eagle with him as he throws it in. Sylvester tracks it down behind the net. He takes a hit. Now Rail on top of it. Rail with Harvey right on him. Trainer moves in to try to help out Harvey. Rail, though, doing a nice job. He has still got that puck finally pried away by Trainer as Harvey will tip it up forward to Sandy. Sandy over to Strinden. Strinden going to go right back to Sandy. Towing the line. Excellent feed to Trainer, who tried the quick no-looker over to Harvey. And I think Trainer would have been better off shooting that time.
Yeah, good physical play down there by number 25, Jacob Matheson, the senior, leading the charge on that hit. And then obviously the physicality has really stepped up for the Davies Eagles. Interesting to see if South can match that physicality and hopefully generate some more goals.
32 seconds left on the penalty. Bryant and Kelly on the face-off. Bryant wins it. Beaton picks it up and gives off over to Hansen now. Hansen fires one that hits his own man. It ended up hitting Grant Gores out in front of the net. And a clear here for the Eagles. With just 20 seconds left on the power play for South-Shanley, they're going to have one last opportunity here. Zazada giving off over to Hansen. Hansen up through the neutral zone over to Bryant. Bryant chips it in. South-Shanley, though, not able to maintain possession, and that'll likely do it as Beaton absorbs a big hit behind the net. Bryant with one more opportunity here, went backhand on the wraparound. Nothing comes of it. South-Shanley, though, still with some pressure. Beaton throws that one in front to Bryant. Bryant could not quite get the stick on it. Great defensive play made that time by Volvich, who also blocks a shot.
Yeah, good defensive presence there by Volvich, the sophomore really getting into the heat of things.
Parrott driving forward, takes out Zazada, but Beaton has the puck now. Beaton got it up to Gores. Lance tried to poke it forward, but he could not. Now a little feed over to Stibbe. Stibbe fires one that's steered aside by Herrick. Buckles on top of the rebound, though. Buckles with some moves in front, trying to feed Stibbe. Puck knocked off his stick, still loose. Hansen has it now. Wyatt Hansen back in the corner. Buckles gets right back on top of it, trying to take control of the puck once again. Feed from Stibbe intended for Schmidt won't go, and South-Shanley will finally get the clear they desperately need.
What I see from South is really good defensive-minded hockey. If that defensive-minded hockey can switch to some offense, especially those breakouts, they can get a few more goals and a few more chances.
Very brief clear that time as the Eagles put the puck right back in the zone. Zazada got mashed, quick shot, fired, rebound, scores! The goal for Davies, number 2 of the evening. Cooper, I did not catch the number. It was an excellent rebound goal, though. I think it may be Buckles who got there.
Yeah, great goal there. Obviously, with South not having that defensive presence, what they have had in the main part of the first period, start of the second period, they just let that guy walk in for that juicy rebound.
That time it was Austin Schmidt who put the shot on. Not much from the initial shot, but like you said, a big-time rebound left out there, and then Buckles just buries that one. And, you know, that's really kind of been Herrick's trouble all night. He's been really on his game, I think, except when it comes to the rebounds. Both these goals now have been scored on big-time rebounds he's left out there.
Yeah, and I feel like South, they haven't been able to get a sustained breakout. And if you're gonna keep that puck in your defensive zone for 2-3 minutes at a time, there's a really good chance that a goal can come for the other team.
And, you know, I really thought South-Shanley was playing their best hockey of the evening. Here is the wraparound opportunity. Won't go. Quick shot from a bad angle, but a whistle blows the play dead as that puck came off its moorings. As I was saying, though, Cooper, I really thought South-Shanley was playing their best hockey all night in the opening part of the second period, and that goal for the Eagles just kind of came out of nowhere and really kind of took some life out of the Bruins.
Yeah, that's for sure. It'll be interesting to see if Coach French makes another goalie change like he did against North, although Brody Herrick has been playing a really good game.
Yeah, you know, it's been great, minus that rebound control. If he can just improve on that a little bit, he'd be in really good shape, even more so than what he's already in. Trainer with the puck, gets it up to Greatzer. Greatzer fires a long-range shot right into the glove of Jared Winter, who will just dump it off over to Sylvester. Briar Sylvester gives that one over to Rail. He works it up the near boards. Puck comes out of the zone, but Dean will send it right back in, delayed offside, so South-Shanley's got to get out of there. Rail with it now. Quick feed over to Matheson, who gets it up over to Ethan Matheson. Ethan Matheson moving in with speed, works his way around Hansen, throws one out in front that's chipped a little too high that time by Hansen.
Good back check there by Moorhart, rushing that shot in the slot right there.
Sylvester with control of this one. Tried to give that one off, but it's going to be lost and picked up by Hansen. 9:20 left to go in the second period. Tanner Beaton moving forward with it, loses control. Sylvester gets to it. Now Parrott sends it in. Parrott's dump in, blocked though that time by Sandy, and now South-Shanley will dump into the Davies zone. Beaton paws this one down out of the air, trying to give it off over to Drew Sandy. And now Jake Bryant will just dump in as the Bruins go for a change.
What I've seen from South is dumping after dumping. If they're going to keep doing that, obviously you can't score from the red line every time.
Yeah, Cooper, that's kind of been a struggle for them for a large part of the year. They're a dump and chase team, which is fine, but at some point you really have to commit to getting some offense going, and if you're just dumping and chasing over and over again and not sending anyone to chase the puck, well, it's just not going to work for you. It's not so much dump and chase, it's just kind of dump.
Yeah, that's for sure, Jed, especially with these big Davies defensemen obviously stepping up, making plays, and not letting them to sustain those rushes and that pressure in those zones.
Hansen trying to feed Lance that time. A little too strong, but it won't be icing. So that puck picked up and fired. Pass intended for Schmidt. Way out in front of him, though, it was Tristan Donner trying to hook up with Schmidt on the long pass.
Yeah, even if Schmidt would have caught that pass, didn't look to me like he had a lot of speed, and Wyatt Hansen probably would have been able to make a play.
8:10 left to go here in the second period. Now a 2-0 lead for the Eagles. Very manageable deficit for South-Shanley, but you'd like to see a little more offense out of them now.
Yeah, that's for sure, Jed. I feel like if they can get a lot of low shots from the point, and Davies defense can maybe make a few mistakes, a few bounces for these forwards that can generate a few goals.
Trainer kicked out of that faceoff. Harvey with a quick shot off the faceoff. Greatzer trying to bury the rebound, and it will not go, and now we've got some extracurriculars out in front. And oh man, a great opportunity. John Harvey came in as the replacement on the faceoff, immediately shot it forward, fed Greatzer, who almost buried his own rebound, but just could not quite work it in. And then you saw Greatzer battling it out with a couple of Eagles that time.
Yeah, actually, Jared Winter right there, he actually looked like the guy I created on NHL, the 99 overall with that save. He's a great player and has a lot of good saves tonight.
Yeah, Winter's so good at keeping his pad level low and keeping things protected right along the ice. You can't really sneak one in low on him. You got to test him high, and now we have a delayed penalty here. Let's see who this is going against. No calls against South-Shanley as of yet, but that might change. And that appears to be the case, as they're going to get Robbie Greatzer. You'll see here Greatzer was taking some hits in the corner, and I'm not sure. I think he had a little retaliatory cross-check there that he's going to get called for. And, you can make a case that, the Eagles were doing it too, but at the end of the day, they're going to call someone, and if you retaliate, you got to know that you're going to get picked up maybe.
Yeah, in hockey, along with other sports, the last guy is the guy who usually gets caught, because that's when the refs start noticing the action.
And you see Greatzer that time having the same trouble we saw him have against Fargo North. Took some penalties as the game went on that really kind of took the Bruins out of it. Can't have that happening here as Stibbe fires a laser right into the chest of Brody Herrick.
There's a speed we saw earlier in the game from Kate Stibbe.
7:38 left to go in the period. 1:41 left on the power play here for the Eagles. First look at Davies' power play of the evening. Face-off one here by Stibbe. Now with it at the point is Donner. Donner gives that one over to Sylvester. Laser pass from Sylvester, broken up partially by Harvey, but the Eagles maintain possession. The speed of these passes from Davies is just incredible, but they got to be careful here. You also want to connect on them. You can't just fire wild, inaccurate passes. So far, so good, but maybe need to slow things down a bit.
Yeah, they're looking more like wrist shots than passes to me, Jed.
Absolutely, Cooper. And now the clear will come from Johnson and South-Shanley. A little confusion there. Looked like they were maybe going to go off for a change, but then backed off. Meanwhile, a minute left to go on this power play for the Eagles. Sylvester tips that one forward over to Hansen. Hansen sets up, fires one on Herrick. I don't think he was expecting. Looked like Hansen was looking for the pass, and then all of a sudden shot one.
Yeah, good deflection there by Brody Herrick, putting it into the netting, allowing South to get a partial line change.
So 53 seconds left now on this penalty. Face-off won by Matheson, back to Clevin, and Clevin was just kind of yo-yoing that puck on his stick and lost it. That hurts for Davies as now more time will tick off.
Part of me feels like he did that on purpose just to show off his speed.
Now Larson tips that one forward, and a big hit there in the South-Shanley zone on Wyatt Hansen. Big thing for South, though, they get that puck right back into the Davies zone, and they continue to burn some more clock. Clevin bringing this one in all by himself, and Noah Lance gets the stick-on-stick that time, not allowing Clevin to fire a clean shot. See the replay there, Noah Lance, a defenseman who also plays some forward, just doing exactly what he needs to, puts his stick on Clevin's, and that doesn't allow Clevin to follow through on the shot, puts it in the netting.
Yeah, and I feel like if South was able to do that on the 2 goals that Davies did score, those goals wouldn't have went in and wouldn't have allowed for those rebounds, easy rebounds, and turned to easy goals.
Beauty of a clear here from Wyatt Hansen that should burn most of the remainder of this penalty. Just 5 seconds left here on the Greatzer minor. And that's a huge kill here for South-Shanley. They really needed that, something to build their confidence. Again, just a 2-goal deficit. They can be right back in this thing in no time at all.
Yeah, like we saw in the Fargo North game, two-goal lead is the scariest lead in hockey. We'll see if South can get a goal in and get this to a 1-goal game.
Meanwhile, Davies looking to build upon that 2-goal lead, trying to make it 3 here. Doing a nice job possessing the puck in the South-Shanley zone. With it now is Kelly as he gives that one off over to Scarperud. Kelly gets right back to it. Now that puck's going to be taken away by Hansen, but Hansen goes down. Harvey tried to knock it out. Sylvester got on top of it, though, and now we have a whistle. And I think we have another penalty here. This one's going against Fargo Davies.
Looks like a tripping on Taylor Parrott.
That does appear to be the case. And so South-Shanley, fresh off that kill, is going to get a power play opportunity. And that's big for them. Again, the power play is the strong point of their game. It hasn't really seemed like it tonight, though, because this Davies penalty kill, got to give credit where credit is due. They've done a good job taking South-Shanley out of it.
That's for sure. Obviously, South's power play has been the strength of their season. That's where they've generated most opportunities. It'll be interesting to see if Robbie Greatzer can get good positioning in front of the net and get a tip in.
Strinden out top, sends Buckles down to his knees, fires a point shot that slipped through but somehow didn't end up in the back of the net. Winner made the initial save, but the puck was still going, and it just trickles beside. Get a look at this replay. First of all, great work by Strinden there, creating a gap to fire on. And Winter, again, just, standing on his head back there. It's not beautiful, but he's finding a way to keep the puck out of the net. That's all that matters.
Yeah, if you can find a way to keep the puck out of the net, like you said, Jed, that's all that matters. If it's a shutout at the end of the day, that's good for Jared Winter.
No one cares how you did it, just that you did. Sylvester lays a big hit on Greatzer that time. Now Trainer picks it up. Trainer in the near corner, looks for a man to give it off to. He circles back in the near face-off dot, has to give it over that time to Harvey, who goes right back to Trainer. Harvey now to Greatzer, who fires one again, saved by Winter. Minute 15 left on the penalty. South-Shanley finally possessing here on a power play, and they're really close as Harvey puts one in. You could feel it coming, and now just like that, the Bruins cut the lead in half.
That one barely snuck in. Good low shot by John Harvey. He's probably going for more of a rebound to Robbie, but looks like the goal snuck in.
Yeah, I think you're right, Cooper. Probably looking to put that off the pad of Winter and then have a big open net for Greatzer to sneak one in. I wonder, though, if he saw a little opening between Winter and that pipe and thought he might have the opportunity to just sneak it in. You know, whether it was inadvertent or whether that was intentional, a goal's a goal.
That's very true, Jed. I feel like John Harvey, one of the captains, really stepped up, made a play. Like we said, 2-goal lead, scariest lead in hockey. We only got a 1-goal game now.
Like I said, you could really feel that coming because Davies just was not having the success they had been having on those penalty kills. Now look at this, 2-on-1. Beaton fires, and that one was broken up. The pass was slowed down, and that ultimately cost South-Shanley the rush.
He had Brian open low post on that. If he would have passed it back to him or took a low shot opposite side, would have had a good chance for another goal.
Huge opportunity. South-Shanley not able to capitalize. That hurts, but it's still just a 1-goal game right now. Got to be happy about that, and you can see with that rush that they've really got some energy. Beaton, backhand trying to get it up ice, then a point shot. Won't do anything. That one coming from Balvich. Puck up along the far boards, kept in by Clevin. His shot blocked partially. 3:37 left to go now in the second period as Hansen gives off over to Beaton. Balvich has it at the point. That one knocked away by Sandy, but Skarparud will chase it down. Skarparud wheeling along, back over to Balvich. Balvich gives one off over to Kelly. Little backhand pass doesn't do anything. Now Beaton gonna move it forward. Beaton flips this one up into the air, and the Bruins will go off for a change.
And the line right there of Beaton, Sandy, and Brian, really good defensive presence, defensive mind. Obviously, you don't want to make it into another 2-goal game.
Strindon able to get that one up to Johnson. Johnson, though, didn't quite have control, so he has to dump it in. Bruins moving with an extra spring in their step now, fresh off that goal.
Hockey's a game of momentum, and if you can get that, you're really deadly. It'll be interesting to see if South can put another goal in the tally column. Yeah,
no doubt about it. 1 goal can really change the way you play the whole game as South-Shanley with another great opportunity. They're really starting to take control here as Clevin, meanwhile, takes control of the puck and gets around Johnson. Tyler Clevin fires one down ice. The clear will be an icing, and that time I think Clevin was more than willing to take the icing just to get a change because he had been out there for a long time.
Yeah, that's for sure, and Coach French for Fargo South is doing a good job mixing up these lines, getting fresh legs out there when people like Clevin are tired and been out there for a couple minutes.
Shots have really evened up right now. It's 26-25 in favor of Davies, just a 1-shot advantage. A big change from earlier in the game as Moorhart's shot is partially blocked and then sent down ice by the Eagles. Dean will give chase, and we got another icing going against Fargo Davies.
If South can get a good, clean win on this faceoff, get a low shot, have their forwards rush the net, like we saw John Harvey, he rushed the net, got a good low shot. I think we got another chance for a goal.
On this faceoff, it'll be Buckles and Trainer. Trainer looked like he won that one, ended up in the skates of a couple guys, and now this one's poked forward by Buckles. Dean gonna chase it down. Herrick, risky decision that time, gets the glove on it. Didn't quite have it, though, to begin with. Boy, that could have been a disaster.
Yeah, very much so. Brody Herrick coming way out of his crease with Carson Dean and looked like, was it Buckles?
Yeah, Buckles giving chase there. And that's just one of those situations where there's really no good way to play it because it's a little too far in front of Dean for him to grab it, but at the same time, he can't just let it trickle to Herrick because it doesn't quite have the momentum. So, dangerous situation, but South-Shanley able to keep Davies from capitalizing on it. 2:05 left to play here in the second period. Beaton picks this one up in the neutral zone and then loses an edge. Sandy gets to it and pokes it forward, but it'll just go back behind Jared Winter and be picked up by Sylvester.
Last time this Fargo South-Shanley Bruins line was out, they had a good defensive-minded shift. Hopefully they can turn that into some offense.
Sandy gives over to Bryant as he throws one right back behind Jared Winter, and Rayolt will pick up for Fargo Davies now. Rayolt given over to Sylvester. He goes back to Rayolt. Now up on the near boards along to Schmidt. Schmidt with Lance on him. Lance forces him to get rid of it. Sylvester there works the backhand over to Rayolt, who gives it off. Now over to Stibbe. Excuse me, that's Buckles rather, who gives to Stibbe now. Stibbe throws it in, and the Eagles go off for a change. Sylvester picks this one up. Lance moves in, forces him to wrap it around the boards. Zazada, backhander up to Lance. That one intercepted, though, by McVicker. Briar Sylvester with possession at the point. He dishes off over to Matheson. Minute remaining now in the second. McVicker trying to give this one over to Matheson. Loose out in front. Herrick stops it and covers up for the save.
Looks like a penalty here on Wyatt Hansen. Late call.
You look at the replay, Wyatt Hansen battling it out with Jamison McVicker, and yep, that's clear as day. Wyatt Hansen whacking at McVicker like he's a tree and Hansen's a lumberjack. They're going to get you every time for that one.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like we said earlier in the game, the last guy's always going to get the penalty called on him. Wyatt Hansen was the victim that time.
Right off the bat, a clear here for South-Shanley. Last time they were down a man, they looked great. They played some of their best hockey, actually, down a man. And so that penalty kill has impressed so far. Let's see if they can keep it up. Just 35 seconds left to go in the period. A minute 40 left on the penalty, so this will be a busted up penalty. Quick shot, does not connect, and oh, look at that. That's some goalie interference. That will not be called.
Are they not going to call that? Ran him over, his helmet's off.
You know, that's the way the game has gone, though, Cooper. There's been so much back and forth. They're going to call some of it. They're not going to call some of it. I mean, we've seen South-Shanley get away with quite a bit themselves, so I think that time maybe they just, they might not have seen that one. It was Jacob Matheson tied up with Brody Herrick.
Yeah, the puck was in the corner, so all the refs' eyes were probably on that puck.
And that's the way it goes. You know, obviously they're going to call you for goalie interference if that puck's right in front of the goalie and you're messing with him. But if it's behind the play, you know, and not much is coming from it, then not a lot will come of it. With it on the near side now is Schmidt. He has a centering pass that's cleared up ice by Harvey. And now Winter will track it down with just 10 seconds left to go in the period. Davies looking for one more rush, moving in with it. Quick shot, steered aside by Herrick. That time it was Donner. And that will do it for the second period. So after 2 periods of play, it is 2-1 in favor of the Davies Eagles. But boy, have we got a game or what, Cooper?
That's for sure. Obviously with South, 1 minute, 8 seconds left on this penalty kill. If they can kill this, get some momentum going into the third period, they'll have a good shot of winning this game.
And, you know, earlier on in the second period, I really thought it was their excellent penalty kill followed by that power play opportunity that set them up for that goal. I think they really were re-energized by the penalty kill, and then they got that opportunity on the power play. And, you know, the confidence they had there, they were just able to bury one.
Yeah, and a few bounces each way. You never know what can happen in this game. Obviously, we got 2 good goaltender shots, pretty even, 25-8. It'll be interesting to see if that'll stay the same.
Arch rivals squaring off right now. Just a goal separates them, and there's just 1 period of play left. Folks, do not go anywhere. It's going to be a great finish in just a few minutes. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to North Dakota High School hockey action. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Cooper Mattern as we are preparing for the final period of play between the South-Shanley Bruins and the Fargo Davies Eagles. Folks, before we get you back to the action, though, we would like to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. Shanley Athletic Club, of course, been so generous to us, helping us do what we do, really responsible in large part for bringing these games to you. So a huge thank you to the Shanley Athletic Club. And speaking of games we want to bring to you, folks, January 20th, the big day, the Scheels shootout. We are talking a doubleheader, 12 p.m., Davies versus North, 2:30, South-Shanley versus Cheyenne. Why is this so big? Well, folks, this is going to be broadcast on the Justice Network, WDAY affiliate channel. Folks, you can find that game, like I said, on the Justice Network. You can find it on Shanley TV as well. It is January 20th, 12 p.m. and 2:30 p.m., the Scheels shootout. It's the big time. It's going to be fun. Lucas Johnson, the legendary commentator, is coming back to join me for that one. No offense, Cooper, a great commentator in your own right. But, folks, January 20th, 12 p.m. and 2:30. Do not miss it. Speaking of can't miss action, though, Cooper, how about this game? 2-1 in favor of Davies. They've got a minute left on the power play here to start the third. How important is this start to the third period going to be in dictating the rest of the game?
I'm really going to look at the goalie play for the start of this period. Jared Winter and Brody Herrick. I feel like with a 2-1 game, puck can bounce either way. Goalies are going to have to be a big role in this third period.
Absolutely, Cooper. Could not agree more. So let's get to it now as we start this third period. Davies entering the South-Shanley zone right away, looking to set up with a minute left to work with on this power play. Noah Lance pins a man along the boards back behind his own net. That puck going to squirt loose, though, and it's going to be picked up by Cade Stibbe. Stibbe has it taken off his stick and then thrown forward that time by Simonson, but he does not get the clear. Point shot coming from Donner doesn't connect, and now that puck's loose on the near boards as Noah Lance tries the backhand clear, but it doesn't work. Buckles, great feed. Stibbe couldn't bury it. Another great opportunity, still loose. Somehow it doesn't end up in the back of the net, and I don't know how.
Yeah, that excuse me, that's crazy right there. Jay Buckles with the shot from the dot right there, and Brody Herrick on the total opposite side of the net being able to make that diving save.
Just 12 seconds left on this power play. The Eagles with a lot of momentum right now, pressuring South-Shanley. The Bruins need to get that man out of the box as soon as possible. Johnson puts the pressure on that time. Eagles still with possession, though. Now out comes Wyatt Hansen. That puck cleared up to Hansen. He couldn't get out of the zone, though. It never made it to him. Now Noah Lance has got a man pinned along the boards. It's Stibbe. Puck picked up by Hansen. Huge hit. He dishes it right back, though. It was Buckles who came in there trying to hit Hansen. Hansen, I think, just a little too big to send him to the ice. Finally, South-Shanley gets the clear, but I think that might be icing.
Delayed penalty here.
And
both guys.
That is going to be a delayed penalty. You're right. It's going to be Johnson along with Donner, I believe. That was some chippy play to end that possession there for Davies. A lot going on, and not surprising to see two guys going to the box here. There'll be Noah Johnson in there for South-Shanley, and like I said, Tristan Donner for Fargo Davies. 15:30 left to play here in this game. Still 2-1 lead in favor of the Eagles. Face-off in the South-Shanley zone. Played forward to Morehart, who's able to get it past the blue line, but then it's sent right back in by Larson. Morehart tracks his puck down, chips it forward, picked up by Sandy, who gets over to Bryant, now gives over to Beaton. Tanner Beaton moving in, pressure on him, Larson falls down, Beaton throws one from a bad angle that makes its way over to Dean. Dean tried to get the puck up ice, but instead it's going to be played forward to Jacob Matheson. Matheson couldn't do anything with it. Morehart with an excellent defensive play to keep it out of his zone. Derek Morehart now going to pick up behind his own net. He feeds Bryant on the near side. Jake Bryant moving forward, thrown into the boards that time by Scarperud. Kelly has it now with Sandy on top of him. Kelly gives back over to Clevin. Clevin up ice now over to Scarperud. Scarperud doubles back, look to give it back to Clevin. Instead, he'll give it over to Kelly. This puck chipped forward now by Dean, and South-Shanley going to go for the clear.
Looks like to me, Jed, wherever the puck is, there's always a big hit happening.
And look at this, a big hit leads you an opportunity. Trainer ran out of space that time, and he did not have a man open, so he just had to fire one. And now I'm not sure what happened there, but somehow Jared Winter ended up on top of Ben Trainer. Go look at this replay. Let's see if we can see enough after. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Actually, I think that may have been Robbie Greatzer he was on top of.
Yeah, it looked like Robbie.
And now we've got a penalty being assessed to Briar Sylvester. I think they'll get him for interference because I think Sylvester put Greatzer to the ground and then Winter ended up on top of him. Kind of a crazy chain of events, but that's just been the way this game has gone.
Yeah, and we've seen Greatzer in the penalty box already tonight. Good for him not to retaliate, knowing his team needs to go on the power play and get a good goal.
Absolutely, keeping a level head there, has to do that. And now Strinden loses that puck past the blue line. That really hurts. South-Shanley was getting set up just the way they like to do, and Strinden unable to keep possession of that puck.
Hopefully the South power play can get some sustained pressure and generate a goal or two.
Well, South-Shanley's only goal in this game was on the man advantage in the second period. If they can have the kind of pressure they had in the second with the extra man, they should be not far away from putting one in. I mean, the kind of pressure they put on the power play was pretty impressive. Davies just kind of powerless to stop them. That said, earlier on, the Eagles really dominated on the penalty kill, so we've seen it go both ways here tonight. Minute 10 left on this penalty to Sylvester. 2-1 lead still for Davies with 13:30 left. Clear high above the head of Herrick, and now it's going to be picked up by Strinden, trying to catch Davies changing. Strinden moving in, works his way around one man, lost possession though, and Clevin gets to it. That puck from Clevin found its way over to Beaton, who gives it to Zazada, and that puck redirected into the net! Look at that, Ben Strinden!
Yeah, Ben Strinden leading the Fargo South-Shanley Bruins in points. Tallies another one in the goal column. Good low shot, though, there by number 10, Sebastian Zazada.
A beautiful goal and an even better celebration. Zazada puts it low right off the stick of Strinden. And I tell you what, that didn't even go off the bottom part of Strinden's stick. That was off the shaft of the stick and in, I think, through the 5-hole of Winter. Crazy redirect goal, but we are now tied 2-2. How about that?
Yeah, like we were saying, a few bounces either way can make this game even tighter than it is, and now South's got all the momentum. See if they can keep that in their favor.
It'd be huge for them to get another goal here, obviously just to take the lead, but also I really want to see something from them that leads me to believe they can score 5-on-5, because right now it's still just 2 goals with the man advantage. Zazada trying to play that one over to Greatzer. It's loose along the boards, and now Clevin's going to pick it up. Clevin able to work his way around the hip from Greatzer and get it over to McVicker. Now Matheson has it with Jacob Matheson open to his left. That shot saved by Herrick. Point shot blocked by Harvey, and now it's picked up by Trainer. Trainer throws it along the boards trying to find Harvey. It's intercepted though by Clevin. Clevin spins around, centering feed off the stick of Zazada, tracked down by McVicker. Behind his own net now is Zazada. Zazada with it, tries to double back. Jacob Matheson right there on him, and now it's wrapped around along the boards, just out of reach of Beaton. That puck going to careen over to John Harvey, and now Harvey will take it up, and he'll feed Sandy, who's coming off the bench with fresh legs. And then Sandy's shot will go off of an eagle and into the bench.
Looks like South's got that lineup there of Sandy, Bryan, and Beaton. See if they can. They've been really good defensively. See if they can generate some offense this period.
2 unanswered goals here from South-Shanley. Again, both coming on the power play, giving them a lot of momentum here. Still being outshot, however, 31-23. Puck cleared out of the zone that time. Icing looks to be the call, but no, that race is going to be won that time by Parrott. Parrott did a good job getting to that puck, and the icing was waved off in turn.
Yeah, good hustle there by Parrott. Knowing the other team has got the momentum, they've scored 2 unanswered goals. You want to work hard to generate more opportunities than what they've had already.
And don't want to give them any opportunities like an offensive zone draw, which the icing would have done. So like you said, good hustle there from Parrott. 11:35 left to go. Sandy tracking this puck down. Donner went down. Sandy was headed off for a change, though. If he had been looking, he might have been able to capitalize on that slip by Donner. That puck ends up hitting the back of the net. I believe that time Larson was just trying to get a clear. Eagles will finally get this puck out of the zone, though, and now Skarperud has it. Skarperud whiffs on that shot, ends up in the skates of Johnson, and now Lance is going after it. Noah Lance wheeling around, trying to move this one up through the neutral zone. It's going to find its way back to Dean, though, who gives over to Zazada. Zazada up to Johnson. Johnson moving in, chips it around Larson, but no one there to pick it up for South-Shanley. Moving forward with it that time was Stibbe. Greatzer ended up with it somehow, though. Strinden and Greatzer in there. Greatzer fires one that's too high and wraps around the boards. Zazada unleashes one that's partially blocked, trying to keep this thing in play. Now Greatzer absorbs a big hit behind his own net, and here come the Eagles now with an opportunity. It's Schmidt and Buckles. 2-on-2, Harvey coming back in. That shot from Buckles off the glove of Herrick and way up into the netting.
Yeah, good back check there by John Harvey, allowing that forward only to take a shot and not being able to pass it into the slot.
.10:30 left to play here. Draw in the South-Shanley zone. Buckles going against Trainer. Buckles wins that one over to Stibbe. Stibbe right out in front to Buckles. Somehow could not bury it. An excellent opportunity, and now we've got a whistle. Not sure why they blew this one dead.
Neither am I, Jed.
I wonder if they thought that puck was covered, but boy, it came right back out, so I really don't know what the whistle was for there.
Tough break there for the Eagles as they were sustaining a good offensive pressure.
Absolutely. Bryant tried to get that one up to Beaton, just a step behind the defenseman, though. Rayolt does a good job getting on that puck. Beaton loses a stick in the corner. Bryant working against Sylvester, and it's Sylvester who comes away with it. Briar Sylvester gets that one off on the near side over to Buckles. Buckles trying to feed Stibbe, too far out in front of him. Stibbe gets back to it, though, with Wyatt Hansen all over him. Stibbe back to Buckles. Buckles tried to throw one out in front, didn't hook up, though, with McVicker. Zazada works along the boards, hoping someone's there. Beaton, though, not there to pick up the puck, and so Davies continues to pressure. Loose puck out in front. Stibbe on top of it along with Buckles. Stibbe goes backhand to feed behind the net. McVicker trying to get to it. Hansen there instead. McVicker still with it somehow. Launched it on Herrick. Herrick thought he had it. That puck is loose, though. No one knows where it is. My gosh. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
That's crazy. Brody Herrick was laying down thinking the puck was behind him, and it was already up to the red line.
All the surrounding players thought he had it, too, so I really don't know what happened there. But Herrick does make the save that time. Just a crazy turn of events. Get a look at this. I don't think he was expecting McVicker to come away with it, and then McVicker's shot goes right off his pads. Everyone thinks Brody Herrick has it. Meanwhile, two Bruins know where that puck is and are able to get it out of the zone. A little over 9 minutes left to be played. Davies really starting to apply some pressure here. Shots 34-23. Brody Herrick standing tall right now in net, but he's going to need a little help. Morehart trying to get possession of that puck and take it out of the zone. Both Mathesons there, though, to contest it, and now with it is Ethan Matheson. Throws one on net. Jacob Matheson, excellent opportunity out in front. Again, somehow got in. Wide open net, but they can't bury it. And here go the Bruins now. Noah Johnson gets mashed on the near boards, and a huge hit from Noah Lance on Ethan Matheson. It's chaos out there as McVicker chips it into the South-Shanley zone, and Brody Herrick will cover only briefly, though, as he gives off to Morehart. Derek Morehart launches one down the ice, and that will go for icing as we get a whistle and everyone can catch their breath.
Yeah, like you said, Jed, chaos out there. A few weird bounces right in front of the net. Davies should have buried it, and then a big hit on Noah Johnson right there for Davies Eagles.
I mean, 2 or 3 times there where it looked like the Eagles had a great opportunity. And you know, Cooper, that wide open net, Ben Strinden did an excellent job just putting his body in great position. He was standing right there like a wall, not letting Matheson get out and bury that goal. Would have been an easy goal for him, so huge credit there to the freshman Ben Strinden. Excellent defensive positioning.
And this is where we see South fall apart. They usually get really tired in their defensive zone. it'll be interesting to see if they can get a good sustained breakout and not let Davies get any more shots on net.
Yeah, I tell you what, they're not looking tired so far in this big rivalry game. They are tied up with one of the top teams in the state, maybe the best team in the state right now. South-Shanley is playing them close as can be, and that's got to give you some energy.
Yeah, this would be a big upset, big good win for Fargo South. They're able to tally this one in the win column.
Zazada throws that one up ice. Harvey chips it into the zone, so icing's waved off. Sandy with it now, but only briefly. That puck being battled for in the corner, and it's ultimately going to come away that time to Kelly. Kelly works it out of the zone. Quick feed up intended for Scarperud. Scarperud, though, can't settle it down, and so it's going to go back, way back into his own zone as Scarperud now has that pass intercepted by Beaton. Beaton almost made a great move, would have had a 3-on-2, but that one was just tipped forward by Scarperud. Sandy dumps that one in. 7 minutes, a little over 7 left to go here now. As that puck wraps along the glass, Strinden tried to throw it in, but it was knocked out by Stibbe. Morhart up ice, that one intercepted by Buckles. Buckles trying to get it up to Stibbe. Now with it is Larson. He goes backhand, and that puck works its way right back into the Davies zone, but here come the Eagles again trying to break out. A little backhand off the board pass from Buckles to Stibbe. A great shot. I think he fooled everyone with where he was going on that one, except Brody Herrick, who tracked it perfectly.
You know, Jed, once South is able to sustain some pressure and get some shots, it'll be interesting to see if Jared Winter is able to stay composed. He's only been in 2 really tight games this year against the 2 Grand Forks teams. Other games have been blowouts in favor of Davies. It'll be interesting to see if he can stay composed.
Yeah, you know, it's a kind of a weird problem when you're a team like Davies. You're so good, you don't have a lot of those close games to kind of prepare guys for when they do happen. So, like you said, only 2 really tight games he's had to play against the Grand Forks schools, and he did look good in those.
Good block.
Stibbe hung on to that puck, forever, and like you said, good block from Derek Morhart. He just stayed in position and absorbed it with the body. 6 minutes even left to be played here. Stibbe along the near boards trying to get it back to Buckles. Buckles and Strinden battling. And now McVicker has it out in front trying to go backhand. Couldn't get it to connect. Noah Johnson has it now, but McVicker right back on top of it. Trying to get it up to Stibbe. He cannot. South-Shanley playing great defense right now as Brody Herrick has the beautiful kick save to keep him alive. Sylvester wraps that one along the boards. Herrick settles it down behind his net. Mattson putting pressure on, so Morhart has to dump it up to Harvey. That puck works its way through the neutral zone into the Davies zone. Icing waved off, and so Ray Olt throws it along the boards over to McVicker. Can't get control. Trainer with the beautiful feed to Greatzer, and now a hit along the boards as that puck goes into the bench.
There's 2 things that are sticking out to me right now, Jed. Physicality and chippiness. You can't. There's a fine line that you can't cross if you don't want to get a penalty, put your team in some danger, because we know that each team penalty kill isn't the strongest. So if they get in penalty trouble, it could be deadly.
Yeah, right now it's looking like the next team to take a penalty might be the team that ends up losing. Just like you said, you know, a really tight game, the next penalty might be the key, because both these power plays have looked pretty darn good so far. Clevin driving in, excellent move, shot, saved by Herrick. Brody Herrick continuing to stand on his head and keep South-Shanley alive. 5 minutes left to be played now in the 3rd period. All knotted up, but it has been all Davies the last few minutes.
Yeah, 42 shots on net, only letting in 2 goals. That's a good night for Brody Herrick. He's got to keep it up. We've still got a little over 4 minutes left in this one.
Point shot from Clevin, blocked by Harvey as that puck's chipped forward by Trainer, but it won't end up out of the zone. Kelly tracks this one down. Hansen moves in to contest it. Now behind the net, that one is going to work its way out top over to Parrott. Parrott loses control, and so Greatzer will go off for a change, but he's the only Bruin who gets off. Davies putting this puck right back down. However, it's going to go into the netting, and it will be whistle.
Line with Beaton, Bryant, Sandy. I really like this line tonight. Good, as I've said before, defensive-minded hockey. I just really want to see them generate some offense and get some shots like they need to do to score a goal.
Yeah, they've looked pretty good defensively. I mean, they're letting Davies get a lot of shots here, but they're making the stops when they have to. Like you said, Cooper, they can't keep it up forever, though. They got to get some offense of their own going. It feels like Davies been on a power play the last few minutes as Beaton almost had an opportunity there. Twice it looked like he might end up with a breakaway, but just could not quite get back on that puck. Zazada goes down, puts it into his own net. Almost a disaster, but Sandy picks it up and is charging forward now, trying to feed Bryant. That puck sent right back down by Larson. Zazada chases after it. Hansen is there, though, and he'll wrap it along the boards looking for Beaton. Couldn't connect. Donner has it now. Donner around Sandy. Cuts back, throws one out in front. Loose puck. Sandy trying to clear, but he cannot.
To me, Jed, this game has been full of lucky bounces for each team. John Harvey's goal and then one of the Davies goals. And Sebastian Zazada almost had a costly turnover in their own defensive zone.
Absolutely, Cooper. In a game this tight, sometimes it's the bounces that are the difference. South-Shanley scrambling to get a change off that time. They just get back in position. Stibbe, though, great patience, feeds McVicker. Shot saved by Herrick. Not sure if it ever got to him, actually. Strindon gets it over to Lance. Lance throws it along the boards, trying to clear it out. And now we got a whistle. And
pass, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I didn't see the signal, but it looked like that thing was swatted forward by an Eagle. And this draw is going to be back in the Davies zone, so yeah, hand pass would be my guess, Cooper.
First real face-off for South in their offensive zone. Jared Winter hasn't faced a lot of shots lately. See if he can stay in check and make a few saves.
That time, Dean looking to hook up with Morehart. Pass didn't go. Masson fires, huge rebound, but McVicker was just getting up off the ice, not quite in position. 2:48 left to go here in the period. South-Shanley had the offensive zone draw, like you said, but in a matter of seconds, Davies had another great opportunity. The Bruins are on their heels. Sylvester dumps that one back over to Rayolt. That one, though, almost ended up going back into Jared Winter. They got to be careful. Great feed, Harvey to Trainer, shot right into the pads of Winter. Loose puck going to be chipped forward now by Matson and then sent down ice by McVicker as the Eagles get some fresh legs and an icing is called.
I don't know about you, Jeb, but this has not been the scoring that I was anticipating before the game. I thought Davies was a stronger team. South is doing a great job keeping up with them.
Yeah, no doubt that Davies was the favorite coming into tonight. But, you know, it's like we said before the game started, when you have two rivals like this, it does not matter what the talent difference is, what the standings difference is. Rivals play each other close more often than not, and that's been the case here tonight. 2:17 left to be played. Both men ejected from the dot that time. Zazada trying to throw that one forward. Battle for the puck along the near boards. It's flipped way up into the air by Clevin and tracked down by Zazada. Zazada gives over to Hansen. Hansen now deep in his own zone, whiffed on the pass. Huge opportunity. I don't know how that didn't go in. It looked like it went past Herrick, but it was just wide. Another great shot, loose out in front, still alive. Finally, whistle blows the play dead.
Great defensive presence there by, looks like Derek Morehart. Check that Wyatt Hansen and looks like Zazada in front of the net, getting those bodies and allowing Brody Herrick to make the save.
Yeah, like you said, Cooper, Zazada got there when Hansen whiffed. Zazada did a good job of staying in position and getting a body out in front of the net. Didn't let that be an open look for the Eagles, and that might have saved the goal there. Minute 49 left to go. The pressure just keeps mounting on South-Shanley as the Eagles are hammering away at them, but the Bruins just not letting anything in. It's getting close, but it's not quite going in.
And I think that's what you need in these close games. When you're the underdog in these type of games, you got to have some of those bounces go your way if you want to stay in the game.
Parrott, a lot of physicality there, just forcing his way around the net, trying to hook up with Kelly that time. Scarperud tried to get to it. Morehart boxed him out. Kelly's got it, though, now. Feeds backhand out in front. No one home, and now Beaton is going to try to spring Bryant. That pass broken up partially, though, and Sandy could not get it forward through the neutral zone. Herrick settles it down, gives over to Morehart. Minute 05 left to be played. Morehart throws it forward down ice. Icing waved off as it was touched by an Eagle. And now Clevin throws it along the boards. Excuse me, that's Larson, not Clevin. And forward now goes Stibbe. Stibbe moving in with speed. Two Bruins on him, so he dumps it off to Buckles. Buckles, no looker out in front. No one home, though. Herrick will cover up.
Brody Herrick really having a good game. Only 2 goals on 46 shots. That's really good for a goalie.
Yeah, outstanding, and especially, the pressure he's been under. He's faced most of those shots here in the latter stages of the third period. The way he's been able to stand up and continue to make those saves, that's a clutch gene right there.
Yeah, whenever an undefeated team comes and plays you, you always have a little bit of nerves. It's whether or not those will subside as the game goes on.
Stibbe moving in, fires, shot blocked. Buckles trying to get to the rebound. Bruins beat him to it though. Eagles going to maintain possession. Maybe not, though. Noah Johnson got it out of the zone, and now a delayed offside's going to be called on Davies.
Looks like one more rush here for Fargo South, 15 seconds left.
I think they'd be content to just come away, without letting Davies score one here. Just try to keep this one out of the back of your net. Stibbe moving along behind the Bruin net. That puck going to be picked up by Strinden. 2 seconds left. And it looks like we're headed to overtime, folks. 3 periods wasn't enough to decide a winner, so we're going to play another. Cooper, we're going to have a 3-minute break here, so we're not going to step away. Overtime period, not sure on the length. I think it's something like 10 minutes. I don't think it's a full period.
No, it's definitely a lot less. I'm not sure what the time is either, Jed. But
we'll find out here in 2 minutes and 43 seconds, won't we? But, to the game at hand, Davies dominated that third period. There's no other way to say it. South-Shanley, though, just made the stops when they needed to. Brody Herrick made the saves he had to. And South-Shanley defensively, they were just able to get their sticks on enough pucks to keep it out of the back of the net. It wasn't pretty, but they're tied up right now. They're in overtime.
And that's all that matters. We saw they switched a lot of things up, especially since the Fargo North game. First period was really strong for them in that game. They fell apart towards the end of the game. This time they had a good sustained pressure, good sustained acceleration and all that throughout the full game.
Cooper, what are you expecting here in this overtime period with the way that Davies dominated the third? Do you think it's going to be more of the same here, or do you think South-Shanley is going to come out with some new energy?
I think South-Shanley, they got a lot of young guys on the bench. I think if those guys are able to step up, make a few plays, they'll generate a lot of scoring opportunities and feed off that experience from the captains and the seniors.
South-Shanley got to be pretty tired right now after basically, it felt like they were killing the penalty for that whole third period. That's got to lead to some dead legs, don't you think?
Yeah, but that also affects the goalie on the other side of the ice. Jared Winter, he hasn't been in a lot of these tight games. I feel like if he can stay loose, get a few saves, you never know which way the puck could bounce.
Absolutely, it's very true when you've got a goalie who hasn't faced a lot of shots. It can, obviously you don't want to allow a lot of shots, but it can sometimes be a bad thing to have a goaltender who's not being tested because they can kind of get cold back there. It's almost like you're sitting on the bench, you're not facing much, not having much coming towards you, and so when you finally do start to face shots, you're not quite as loose as you'd like to be. So that's certainly an aspect to focus on here in this overtime period. Cooper, for me, I think my key to this overtime is going to be how it starts. I think South-Shanley is going to have a strong start here. They're going to have to set the tone early because it's all too likely that Davies is going to come out fast and just let things go back to more of the same. So South-Shanley got to do something early to get themselves in it. Got to come out firing.
Yeah, like you said, Jed, I feel like Coach French, he'll have to make a decision here. He's obviously seen those top two lines with Beaton's line and Greitzer's line. It'll be interesting to see if he takes Beaton's defense line or Greitzer's offense line to start the period.
Yeah, very true. It could kind of be an indication as to how he wants to play things. Like you said, that all-senior line with Greitzer, Harvey, and Trainer, they've been a bit more offensively focused. Meanwhile, that Strinden line, the second line, has played a lot more defense. Both played well, just in different areas of the game. So time winding down, and it appears we've got an 8-minute overtime period coming up here. Now, if we don't have a winner after this, I do believe it goes in the books as a tie. However, there would be a shootout for an extra point in the standings.
Yeah, that's correct. That's how it goes.
So, no doubt South-Shanley wants to come away with the win, but if they could just get this thing to the shootout, that'd be massive for them.
Yeah, that'd be big, especially the people who aren't tuning into this game and they see that in the standings. That could give them a little anxious for the next time they play South.
So right off the bat, Dean takes an ugly hit into the near boards, but springs right back up. Puck going to be dumped in by Schmidt. Stibbe giving chase. Morehart there to corral it, though. Gets it past Buckles, and now Strinden's going to try to clear, but it's held in by Clevin. Clevin throws one down, and Herrick is forced to cover. So first couple seconds of the overtime period, and Davies is looking like they're just going to pick up where they left off right now.
Yeah, I feel like if Brody Herrick can keep playing like he has been, that'll generate, a lot of momentum for South and get them a few shots and maybe pump a few in.
Stibbe versus Sandy on this face-off, and it's Stibbe who wins it. Buckles plays it back to Klevin, who goes right back to Buckles. Buckles now surveying, has some time. He gives off over to Schmidt. Schmidt plays it right back over to Buckles, makes a spin move behind the net, tries to put one out in front for Stibbe. Now a wraparound try that won't go.
Good defensive positioning there again by South, what they've shown throughout the whole game.
Buckles right back in control, makes a great move, fires one, but it's just wide. Briar Sylvester tracks it down, and he'll dump it back in, and the Eagles continue to pressure. Buckles looking for a man, had McVicker open, and still go over to Stibbe. Stibbe going to Sylvester. Stibbe gets back on it, and Brian is just going to throw it off the boards, desperate to get off and get some fresh legs out there. South-Shanley going to be caught changing here a little bit. Klevin moving in, fires and scores! Oh, man!
What a move.
And that, folks, is why he is going D1. What an incredible move by Tyler Klevin to end this game.
Yeah, and South was definitely caught in a bad line change there. Not good for them. And with Klevin's moves, obviously we've seen him throughout the whole game with that speed. He'll capitalize on that every time.
He just works right around the freshman Dean that time. I mean, just expertly played there by Klevin. Goes right around Dean, buries a beautiful corner shot. And like you said, just a bad line change. You could tell it from the start. Bryant chipped it off the boards. South-Shanley desperately needed new legs, but Bryant, there wasn't a lot of time to work with. He was hesitant, didn't know whether he should go or not. In the end, he initiates the change, and by that point, it was too late. South-Shanley had been caught. They had waited a little too long, and Tyler Klevin was going to make them pay for it.
And I think that might be part of the inexperience with Dean and Brian. Obviously, their first varsity season, and you're going against Tyler Klevin, his second. I mean, I think that's the experience versus the inexperience right there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Dean not only a freshman, in his first year of varsity play, but this is, his first game with major minutes, really. And so to, be in the overtime period, be a top pairing defenseman, that's a tall order, and Tyler Klevin makes him pay. How about Tyler Klevin in this game, Cooper? I mean, he just really took control at so many points throughout.
Yeah, before this game, he only had 6 total points. I feel like he wanted to generate more opportunities for himself, so he really turned that defensive mindset into an offensive mindset and got some good rushes.
Just a true offensive defenseman. I mean, he looks like a forward back there playing defense. You saw him, that's how he got the goal. Gets involved on the rush, just looks at the situation and says, I'm going to do things myself. And again, that's why Tyler Klevin's a D1 commit. You get another look at this play. I mean, that's just tremendous. The speed to get past Beaton, the moves to get past Dean.
Yeah, and if you can have that kind of handwork and footwork and have that big of a body and still use those essentials, you'll be a great player.
So obviously Davies happy to come away with the win here, but Cooper, you got to tip the cap here to South-Shanley. Davies a heavy favorite coming into this game undefeated, and South-Shanley forces them to overtime. Just what a great game here for South-Shanley. Even with the loss, this is just so big for their confidence going forward, don't you think?
Yeah, like we said before, they have nothing to hang their heads about. I feel like no one is expecting it to be this close. 1-goal game after overtime. I feel like it was a good game for South overall.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They like to say there's no such thing as a moral victory in sports, but to a degree, this is something good for South-Shanley. This is something to build upon going forward, going on with the rest of the season and the next few years, really, with those young guys. For tonight, though, for Cooper Mattern and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo, South-Shanley Bruins, 2, Davies Eagles 3. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.